Tell God, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Many times I tell God, help me, Lord, to just please you. Sanctify my mind. Sanctify my heart. See, all of us, each of us know what's in our mind.
That's right.
Is that all right?
Amen.
Many times others don't know what's in your mind, but you know.
Amen.
And we know what's in our hearts.
That's right.
And we have to pray day and night, God, clean me.
Amen.
Sanctify my heart. You ought not never go to bed without asking God to sanctify.
That's right.
Don't go to bed without saying, God, forgive me of my sin.
Yes.
It's not like we hadn't done it. And the Bible says, if any man say he ain't sinned, he's a liar. And the truth is not in him. Amen. So you need to always say, God, forgive me.
Oh, yes.
And I'm looking today in this lesson, the time left, I'm looking in this lesson at Peter. Peter is who this lesson is about.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Peter was a man that certainly most of us remember that he was one of the disciples.
Amen.
And not only that, but he was a man that when the pressure got great in his life, he turned on God.
Amen.
Y'all remember Peter who cut the soldier's ear off? He loved God. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. He loved Jesus. He was there with him all the time.
All right.
There were three disciples that really loved Jesus. There was Peter, James, and John. James and John were brothers. And Peter was with God. It wasn't that the other disciples didn't love him. It's just that those three loved him more. You know, there's some folk that you got some friends that every time you call them, they there. But there's some friends that call you more than you call them. Y'all got folk in your family. You meet them at the family. You all close. Hey, boo, yeah, you and me should never call. We got that. But there are some that keep in touch with you every week. If you don't keep in touch with them, they're going to check in on you. That's more than a relationship. That's friendship. They can be your... Mother and I went one time to Bond Hill when it was out on airport before they tore it down. There were those two brothers that worked there. And I told them, I love y'all. I said, I have never in my life seen two brothers that work together and love one another so much. I often prayed for them because I said, Lord, if something happened to one, I hope the other don't die. Because I'm talking about close. And then the baby said, he's my life. I said, well, God is your life, but you love God too. He said, I love him with all my heart. I said, don't love him with all your heart. Love him from your heart. The Lord said, you love me with all your heart. See, God can move folk when you love him with all your heart. But love him from your heart. But let your heart belong to... Is that making any sense? When you meet your little girlfriend, boyfriend, I love you with all my heart. See, now you done push God out.
That's right.
Always keep room for God.
Amen.
Is that all right, somebody?
Amen.
Now that could help somebody who would find out why your relationships ain't working. Stop. Back to my message. So now here is Peter. He's been arrested by King Herod Agrippa.
Amen.
Now, this King Agrippa got a bad attitude, y'all. He hates the church. His hate for the church is so vehemently strong. He's a fierce murderer of Christians. He's already took James that was with Peter. Remember I told you Peter didn't. He's already took James and took a sword and killed him.
That's right.
And so now he's arrested Peter and he has him in prison. And the thing about that is now Peter is sitting in prison. And King Agrippa says, not only do I want one soldier, I want 16 soldiers to watch him.
All right.
I want you to put them in 4 quadrants, 4 soldiers on every 6 hours. I want you to take 2 soldiers and chain them to him so he don't get away. Now, let me tell you what he had planned. Remember, he hated the church.
That's right.
There's some folk right here in Mobile that hate the church.
Amen.
If you mention a preacher, they say all preachers are crooked. That's not the truth.
That's right.
There are some crooked preachers.
That's right.
God did not call them to preach. When you see them talking about, give me all your money, you know that ain't God. What the preacher ought to be saying, here's something to help you live. What we are servants. We're not supposed to be greedy. Did y'all hear what I say? Some people accuse honest preachers of being greedy because we say give money. We try to keep the lights on. Because the church should never go lacking with stingy people.
Amen, amen.
Y'all ain't saying nothing.
Amen.
But when you hear me driving a Mercedes and y'all can't get one, we need to rework that. Because if God has blessed me on that level, I want you on that level.
Amen.
Now let me get it back on home plate.
Okay.
If y'all buy me a Mercedes, I'm going to be happy. But don't be jealous if I give it to a homeless man. Don't be mad because you gave it to me. The Lord said give it to help somebody who really, that I don't mind because that's the way I live. I don't let stuff get caught up in my refrigerator till it's spoiled. I believe you need to pass it on.
That's right.
I'm saying, baby, you ain't going to